Is Prince Harry facing deportation? What's going on with all this Selling Sunset drama? And why is Target getting blasted for taking down their Pride merch? I'm gonna answer all the questions in this video, so stick with me. So the US government is set to appear in federal court next Tuesday to answer questions about Prince Harry's visa application after he admitted using illegal substances. The Heritage Foundation is suing Joe Biden's administration and trying to force him to release his immigration files. They're demanding to know how he managed to get into the US, considering he confessed in his memoir to taking narcotics. The lawsuit hopes to uncover whether or not he mentioned this in his visa application. The foundation said its case will be held in front of a federal judge on June 6th. A decision to unseal immigration records could have implications for Harry's status in the US, and it might even result in his visa getting rejected. Under US law, anyone who admits to past use of illegal narcotics is generally denied entry to the country. Applications for a visa to live and work in America have to tick a box to answer yes or no to a question on past use. Answering yes can result in being denied a visa, and not even celebrities or public figures are above this law. Back in 2008, Amy Winehouse was rejected because of this exact reason, and she had to cancel her plans to attend the Grammy Awards. But admission does not automatically ban you from the US for life. Any denial of entry can be overturned in an in-person interview at a US consulate because they can issue a waiver. So this lawsuit would expose whether or not immigration authorities have given Harry preferential treatment. In Spare, he revealed that he first took a powder on a hunting weekend at age 17. He said he also did a few more lines on other occasions. He then admitted to hallucinating during a celebrity-filled event in California and smoking a certain leafy green substance after his first date with Meghan Markle. In March, he sat down for a live-stream trauma therapy session with Dr. Gabor Mate. Eventually, the conversation turned to different things that he used to try and mask his pain. Harry admitted that the infamous powdery substance didn't do anything for him. He said it was more of a social thing that gave him a sense of belonging. He said, "I think it probably also made me feel different to the way that I was feeling, which is kind of the whole point." On the other hand, he said that the green stuff really did help him, but out of everything that he's tried, it's psychedelics that really blew his mind. He said, "I started doing it recreationally and then started to realize how good it was for me." In his book, we also learned that he once took mushrooms at a party at Courtney Cox's house, and the results were interesting. He's also admitted to trying ayahuasca, which is a hallucinogenic drink made by brewing the leaves of plants from the Amazon rainforest into a tea. He described this experience like cleaning a dirty windscreen and removing the filters that he saw life through. Quote, "It removed it all for me and brought me a sense of relaxation, release, comfort, a lightness that I managed to hold on to for a period of time." Although Harry has a very positive outlook on all of these substances, he made it pretty clear that he's very skeptical about Big Pharma. He asked Mate's opinion on prescriptions in a sort of way that made it seem like he's not such a believer himself. Later, he brought up the highly contested theory that doctors are paid more when they prescribe medication. This part of the conversation was highly criticized. Many people in the medical community felt that his comments were hugely irresponsible given his platform. Harry was called out for having no understanding of the serious damage that certain substances can wreak on users. Instead, he spoke very freely about what worked for him and what didn't, which wasn't really a great thing to speak out about in public. In one of the stranger moments of the live stream, Harry looked visibly uncomfortable when the doctor began to diagnose him with various mental health conditions. During the session, he got diagnosed with PTSD, depression, and ADD, or attention deficit disorder. This lines up with some of the things that he talked about in his memoir. In one particularly shocking chapter, he claimed to have taken the lives of 25 people in Afghanistan. This was while he was serving as an Apache helicopter co-pilot from 2012 to 2013. He wrote that he felt neither satisfaction nor shame for his actions, and in the heat of the battle, he thought of the enemy soldiers as pieces being removed from a chessboard. Having done 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan during his 10 years in the army, he said that most soldiers don't know exactly how many people they've taken out because under battle conditions, you often fire indiscriminately. But he also claimed that everything he did was recorded and time-stamped, so he knew how many enemies he took out of the game as he described it. Just from the way he spoke about his actions overseas, it was clear that he had some kind of disassociation from them. It was a lot more matter of fact, and he never really explored how he felt about the things that he did. But since his trauma session, it was implied that this is one of the experiences that left him with PTSD. Alright, now let's get into all of this Selling Sunset drama. It's been a rough go for the show's newbie Nicole Young. After season 6 came out, she was bullied relentlessly by viewers who felt that she was in the wrong. Things have now escalated to the point where people are threatening her life. This is all because of an interaction between her and Chrishell. In one episode, Chrishell accused her of of being on illicit substances. She said, "I don't know what's in your drink or what you're on, but I'm just saying I'm good with not having this conversation because it doesn't seem like there is just wine in your glass. You've been acting a little cracked out all night." Chrishell then doubled down and claimed that Nicole's body language was erratic and all over the place, meaning that she must have been on something. This upset Nicole to such a degree that she stormed out of the room and took a narcotics test to prove that she was clean. The accusation completely sent her over the edge, and now fans are joining in on it. On social media, there seems to be a campaign labeling her as an addict and bombarding her with insults related to the drama. It's gotten so bad that even Chrishell has tried to call the haters off. She said she wants fans of the show to stop making death threats against her co-star Nicole. She spoke to TMZ about the absurdity of modern day fandom. She said, "People in this day and age just take things too far, especially when it comes to online bullying." Chrishell spoke up on her own social media platform and told everyone to simmer down, although we know that their personal relationship has not been repaired since season 6 was filmed. Selling Sunset's Mary Fitzgerald also came through trying to clear up the feud. She explained that it was all down to an old social media post. While on the Vile Files podcast, she said, "I remember Nicole getting upset because Jason brought both of them on the listing. In the beginning, Nicole did do more work on it. He brought Chrishell on because she was newer at the time. It was a learning thing for her. Nicole was the one that got paid for it, but I guess Chrishell posted it on Instagram when it was sold. Nicole found out that it was going to be on Selling Sunset too, and she just got really upset back then." So basically, Nicole thinks that the show made it look like Chrishell had made the sale. She simply didn't think that she deserved any credit. But this is why she was called petty, because it was something that happened over 3 years ago. And Chrishell points that out many times during the argument. To a lot of people, it seemed bizarre that Nicole was still holding on to it and brought it up to try and embarrass her colleague. She also diminished Chrishell's work ethic as a realtor and claimed that she only got the listing because Jason had a crush on her. Originally, Nicole asked to be a part of the starting squad for season 1, but she decided against it in the end, apparently out of fear that she would get dragged online and experience this type of conflict that she's in now. But she must have thought it would be different this time she went on, because she did join in season 6. Nicole is new to Selling Sunset, but she's certainly not new to the Oppenheim group. So what changed her tune about joining in the Netflix mix? We'll never really know. The drama was apparent right out of the gate this time, and it has continued to dial up over time. Now let's talk about the massive Target controversy. The retail giant came under intense scrutiny this week when they announced they would be pulling some of their LGBTQ themed merchandise that caused a nationwide boycott. A corporate spokesperson came out saying that the Target team members have been receiving threats which impact their sense of safety and well-being while at work. Over the last couple of weeks, this controversy reached an all-time high. No matter what Target decides to do with the Pride merch, the backlash keeps escalating. In some stores in the South, the display was moved to less visible locations, like the back of the store. At a Target in Cary, North Carolina, 2 employees said that the Pride collection used to be at the front of the store, but the display is now further back in the women's clothing section, and the women's swimwear has been placed in front of it. One employee allegedly said that management told them to switch things around, but they were not given a reason why. One TikTok user claimed that a Target in Cypress, Texas, moved its Pride collection to the back of the store after a customer complained to upper management. When this news came out, things got a whole lot worse, because it seemed like Target was trying to backpedal on their LGBTQ support. In an effort to contain the outrage, a spokesperson for Target then released a statement saying that the company has offered an assortment of products aimed at celebrating Pride Month for more than a decade. But since introducing this year's collection, they experienced a level of threats impacting their team members like never before. Quote, "Given these volatile circumstances, we are making adjustments to our plans, including removing items that have been at the center of the most significant confrontational behavior. Our focus now is on moving forward with our continuing commitment to the LGBTQ+ community and standing with them as we celebrate Pride Month and throughout the year." So what kind of merchandise were they putting out? Well, people took particular issue with the collection's apparel that was meant for kids. These had supportive slogans like "Just be you" and "Trans people will always exist." There were also other messages like "Cure homophobia," "Not trans people," and "We belong everywhere." Their collection also included a tuck-friendly bathing suit for trans and non-binary adults. Some of these designs were also accused of using satanic symbolism. Even though this hasn't been proven, it hasn't stopped hundreds upon hundreds of threatening emails getting sent out to the designers of the collection. One of them is Eric Carnell, and he's now spoken out about his products getting pulled from the company's website. He said, "It's difficult because on one hand, I'm obviously completely against it. I think that they should stand by their principles. If you're gonna have a Pride range centered around and created by LGBTQ people, then you need need to stick that out. But if he were an employee at a Target store in an open carry state, then he said he wouldn't feel safe. So in that sense, the company has to put their employees first, which is clearly something that needs to be taken into consideration more than anything else. Although some think that the message is more important. The LGBTQ rights organization GLAAD said that violence and hate would persist until corporate leaders step up as heroes for their LGBTQ employees and consumers and not cave to fringe activists calling for censorship. They released a statement saying, "The fact that a small group of extremists are threatening disgusting and harsh violence in response to Target continuing its long-standing tradition of offering products for everyone should be a wake-up call for consumers. And it's a reminder that LGBTQ people, venues and events are being attacked with threats and violence like never before." But what is the long-term goal of this boycott and how far is it going to go? In a tweet on Wednesday morning, conservative commentator Matt Walsh wrote that his goal was to make Pride toxic for brands. He wrote, "If they decide to shove this garbage in our face, they should know that they'll pay a price. It won't be worth whatever they'll think they'll gain. First Bud Light and now Target, our campaign is making progress. Let's keep it going." What he was referring to, of course, is a recent firestorm around Bud Light when they partnered with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Since the boycott, beer sales have dropped around the country, which seems to have given these people the green light to do the same to other companies. So what do you guys think about all this controversy? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.